Best Medicine Podcast with Simba. Sparking positive change in the community. Having real conversations and therapy. You know that laughter's the best remedy. Got that heavy dose of humor for your hearts to heal. With mental health, it can't get any more real, yeah. Best Medicine Podcast. Laugh, love, learn. Best Medicine Podcast.
Best Med Pod. It's your man Simba Roy back in this thing one more time, bruh. And today, I have a special guest. If you listen to the diagnosis, you know that all I have are special guests. Today ain't no different. Today, man oh man, I'm so juiced. I have a wonderful artist in the building. Is it digital art?
Digital art.
I
also do like acrylics and stuff like that, but mostly digital.
Okay, yeah. I have no idea where I met you. I have no idea.
We met through the Joe Budden.
Oh yeah!
Facebook group.
Shout out to Joe Budden.
Shout out to Joe Budden.
Shout out to Joe Budden. So
the mood guy.
The mood god. Okay, so that's what it was. So we're on Facebook. I'm in the Joe Budden. I wouldn't call it a fan page, but it's like a just talking shit. It's the podcast page, and you know, I just saw she was in Oakland. I was like, oh, what? Yeah, we have to be friends. So that's usually how it goes. It's like, hey, we have to be friends, and then I ended up having friends, and I showed her an opportunity to vend because she sells her merchandise and things like that, and I was around people and events that needed vendors, so I reached out to her and said, hey, you can vend here, and it worked out. It worked out. So today, I have the Black Alien. What's up?
That's such a dope intro.
Yes. Every intro I do, I'm trying to be better than Sway.
Better than Sway.
Sway has the greatest
That's big
intro.
shoes to fill.
And he's from Oakland, so I'm like, I have to. When I do my intros, it's like I got you, Sway.
I love
got
it.
you, Sway.
I
want to be able to one day intro Sway. So I'm practicing.
I like that.
Sway, I'm
It'll
coming
happen.
for you.
Manifest it.
Yes, that's
put
what
it into the universe.
That will happen.
Absolutely.
I am Sway. I'm going to interview you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. Like, I'm so honored to be here. Seriously.
That's dope. She says she listens to the podcast.
I do.
And I always like when people listen to my podcast. It's like, it's easy. It's very easy to listen to.
It is.
Some of them are kind of long, but I've been cutting them shorter. Just to, make it more digestible. But these long form conversations, like Combat Jack, shout out to Combat Jack, R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
His podcast used to be 3 hours.
Yeah. But
they were so captivating
and insightful.
And
he always got information out of people too.
The
people that you wouldn't even know that they'll like tell their story and say the things that they'll say.
Exactly.
And he just had that gift of like getting that out of people.
Especially and it's the type of questions he asked. It wasn't the stereotypical like, oh, how'd you get started? Like, when's the album? No, I'm talking about your life. I might take one line of one song from one of your albums and we go 20, 30 minutes on it. Like, why did you write these words? That's what I like to do in my show. So, like, my inspirations are, Combat, Sway, is like the Joe, the type of interview questions that you have. It stops being an interview. It becomes a conversation. I hate to be someone who's just like, oh, so when did you start drawing? Was it like, that's not compelling. I want my listeners to know who you are after they turn this off.
Exactly.
And that's what this is for.
It's dope. That's why I agreed to it.
Hey.
I knew I was in good hands. I was like, he wants my introverted behind here. Like, I know it's going to be good.
It's funny because this is a podcast for introverts.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
So?
Yes.
I think so.
like the majority of the people that I've had on here, even some of the artists that I've had on here, really aren't extroverts. They're really to themselves, and they might go on stage and then become this being, but then as soon as they get off, they're like, yeah,
they turn it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I identify with those. I identify with that. Yeah, I identify with that. I'm mainly around introverts. Like we are an introvert clique.
Are you introverted or are you?
Yes, I'm definitely introverted. But I'm the same way. Where if I touch a stage, you'd never know. When I'm on, you'll never know because I'm trained myself to do that. I've trained myself to. I've always loved the attention because I was the only child. So when I touch a stage or whenever I'm the importance of the situation, then yeah, I'm on 1,000. Right. As soon as I'm done.
But then once it's over, you gotta like recharge. Like, give me 50 feet. Yeah.
I'll perform and like kill it or whatever like that. And then once I get up the stage, I don't want people to be like, "Hey, good job." Like I don't understand how to take that. It's like awkward. I killed it, but don't tell me that. Yeah. Like don't say nothing. Just be like, and let me go about my day.
That's like something that you really have to work on.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we have to learn to accept, the positivity that people are giving us.
Definitely.
Kind of hold that with us whenever we feel doubtful. We kind of have to remind ourselves.
Definitely. Yeah, because then we crave the attention, we crave the positive reinforcement, but then we don't want to accept it for ourselves.
Exactly. That's something I struggle with. So I hear you.
So, to my millions of listeners, who is the Black Alien?
The Black Alien is a artist, apparel designer as well. I am a mother. I am a wife, a friend. That's pretty much it. It's me in a nutshell.
So along your journey, when did you become, quote unquote, the Black Alien?
Oh, I became the Black Alien. So I want to try to make this a long story, less long, like Joe says.
We got time.
So this was 2016.
Okay.
2016.
Okay.
I was working at this super shitty job. Like, it was so sucking.
That's the origin story of all of us,
right? It was so sucking. And I was just on autopilot.
Yep.
Just working, coming home. And I've always had an artistic spirit. I went to school for fashion design. Okay. And I just kind of put all of that to the back burner to like focus on work and taking care of my family.
That's survival mode.
Yeah, survival mode, exactly. And I just felt myself getting like more and more miserable by the day because I felt like I was super unfulfilled. Right. So after a long series of events of being in like this super deep depression, having all of this anxiety, super unhappy, finally like the Black Alien just came to me in a dream one day. Perfect. And I remember like before I went to work, I would always get like these anxiety attacks before work. So I would always like sit at a coffee shop and I would just start like sketching to kind of like release that nervous energy. Yeah. And eventually people like, there's something, and I don't know if you can speak to this, but there's something about people who are creating, like when they're in their element, people gravitate towards that. Like, they want to see what you're doing. They want to see if you're good or not, all of that, right? So that started happening, and then eventually I started just posting little stuff here and on Instagram. That snowballed to people wanting to like buy things. I'm like, oh, I guess like you want to buy it, okay. Having to create a website, then having to do this and do that, and then that snowballed to doing events. And that just kind of led me to where I am now. So that's pretty much, that's how it happened.
That's dope. You, I've seen people who are afraid to put their art out there. Who are afraid to say, hey, I am an artist. These are the things that I need to be an artist. For an artist who's afraid to show the world what they do, what would you tell them?
you just have to do it. You literally have to do it. It got to a point where it's just like, you know what? I'm going to post this piece. Yeah. I'm going to set my phone down and I'm going to just walk away. Like, I'm just going to walk away because I don't know. You know what I mean? And then also, I think for me too, I study a lot of Buddhism and I feel like that's kind of helped me along my journey.
Yes. And
part of those ideologies is to have very low expectations.
Yep.
So if you post something, don't go into expecting like, oh man, I'm going to get hundreds of likes. People are going to follow. Just post it just to post it, just to document your work. Yep. And don't expect anything out of it. And if it resonates with one person, if it resonates with 10 people, 20 people, then it resonates.
Definitely. You
know, because if you're doing things out of a genuine place, someone's going to rock with it regardless. They're going to receive it. Yeah. Exactly. So
as opposed to it just being, you know, more content to consume.
Exactly. Exactly. So you just have to, and I know that's easier said than done, but you just kind of have to you just have to go for it.
Just make it work.
Make it work.
Because I just recorded, I told you, with my uncle earlier, and he's a very staunch Christian. And so he's a black man who's Christian, who's gay. So for his whole life, it was he would say, I'm church before I'm gay. So it wouldn't be, it's like, yeah, people may know I'm gay, people might not know I'm gay, but me being a Christian was top priority. And then he had to come to a point in itself to merge it all together. To where now he goes to a church with predominantly homosexual, trans, and everything like that. So he doesn't have to be one or the other. He could be everything that he is. And I told him, I said, before you know, Christianity and all that, that's what was taught to me. And the first time that I ever saw anything different was from one of my aunts, and she's Buddhist. And she's passed now. She was Buddhist, and I was maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, and she took me to San Francisco, and we went to these different shops, crystal shops, and things like that. Buddhist.
Wow, at that young of an age. Wow, that's amazing.
And she didn't tell me, hey, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. But the fact that I saw something different made me curious. To where when I was a junior, senior in high school, I read Siddhartha. And then over that summer, and then my senior year, the teacher made us read Siddhartha. So within a year, I read Siddhartha twice.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, well, yeah, I believe this resonates to me more than what y'all have been forcing me to think about. It's just a different way of thinking.
And key word, you said force.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Catholic school.
Me too.
From kindergarten through 5th grade.
Which school?
I grew up in Detroit.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they force it.
Yeah.
They force it. And it's like, if you disobey, you're going to go to hell. And then you as a kid, you're frightened because you think if you do anything, like it's a wrap. You know what I mean? And
I got defiant. I'm like, so what? Like,
did you
like, so what? Like, if I'm doing all these things, if nothing's gonna get me to heaven, so what, man? Like,
so be it.
Yeah, like I'm not doing anything bad like this. Like, if everything that you're saying I'm doing wrong is gonna send me to hell.
But that was bound to happen though, because when you force things for so long. It's inevitable that someone's going to rebel against that.
Yep. Or you're just going to just denounce it completely.
Exactly.
And then either one of those are like, you shouldn't force it and you shouldn't denounce it because some of it makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything makes sense.
Everything makes sense.
You know? I don't know if you watched the show, but it's the show The Good Place.
No.
Okay. Well, they have...
You know what's funny about that? What? My husband is obsessed with that show.
It's amazing. You should watch it with him.
I don't really watch a lot of TV, so I'll just be like doing my own thing while he's watching it, and I'm hearing him say like, "What the fork?" And I'm like, "This corny ass show." Like, I'm not watching this. It just seems super whack. Like,
no, it's not.
It really good?
It's really good. Like, it's a really great writing.
I've heard that
emotionally, and it teaches about ethics. It sneaks ethics studies in it because the synopsis is, she's in heaven and she shouldn't be there because she was a shitty person on Earth. Mm-hmm. So she's basically hiding and trying to pretend to keep herself into heaven. Mm. So by doing that, she has to try to be a better person. She's learning how to be a better person. So he's teaching her ethics studies and the different types of ethical studies and things like that, philosophies and things like that. So it's really entertaining. It's educational. It's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. But my point was that
I'll take your word for it.
When you're in heaven, when you're in a good place, quote unquote, they're just saying that it's like, so is there a guy? Like, is there Jesus? Like, is there? He's like, roughly all religions got it 5% right. Mm. So yeah, the point is like there is not really a wrong way to go. Mm. If you take this and say this is what I believe in, that's cool. But once you understand it, the whole circle of it, you have a greater understanding on what you actually believe. Mm. Because you don't necessarily believe what you believe. You've just been told to believe it. Exactly. So once for yourself you say, hey, I don't believe this, I'm going to learn something else. That's where actual learning happens. Mm-hmm. You know? I love that show. You should watch it. You should watch it. And it's over now. So now like the series finale is over with. It's like, hey, turn on the first episode.
He's been like forced. He's like, you need to watch this. You need to I'll watch it again. I'm like, but maybe I should watch it.
You should,
because it sounds dope. It's dope.
Funny.
I just feel like the way that it was packaged just seemed kind of cool.
But you got to think, if you're in heaven, you're not going to be able to say fuck.
It's true.
So it's like and that in itself is the joke. It's like they turned off the curse filter. Mm. So it's like you got to say fork.
Oh, so that's why they're doing that. Okay.
With the fork, it's not them just saying
just
it.
Just imagine randomly just listen.
Yeah,
like,
that's corny as fuck.
Yeah, right? Like, what are you watching? Like, what is this?
With the fork, this is bullshit. Like what? Yeah, you should watch it.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, you've sold me. All right, I'm gonna check it out. Good job.
Great acting, all the stuff. Now I'm just putting it on. This podcast was
right. This is not an ad.
Hey, if the Good Place wants to pay me, I would love to promote for them.
Right.
But I like to. My uncle said it. It's like I'm an explorer. So whether it is, places or just my own thoughts, I enjoy the sometimes battles I have between ideas. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I can debate both sides of a fence. Mm-hmm. Even if I don't believe one side or the other, I can still debate one side of the fence. And that's what I feel like a lot of people miss, is the fact that there is another side. Mm-hmm. You can look over there. It's okay. Even if it's just for understanding. I'm not trying to make you believe what I'm telling you. I just want you to see that there is another way of thinking.
There is another possibility.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. So, back to you. When it comes to your art and the journey you've taken, what have been the most difficult parts of, becoming you?
I think the most difficult parts are time management, most definitely.
Yep. Yes, definitely.
And being more present. Mm. Because I feel like with me, sometimes I put too much on my plate. Yep. And then I just turn into autopilot, where I'm not really enjoying what's happening. Mm-hmm. I'm not really progressing in the ways that I want to. Yep. Not being as efficient as I should. Definitely. Not even taking time out to myself to kind of rest and kind of relax and just take a break from everything. Mm-hmm. And that's still going on. Like, that's something that's just always a continuous work in progress. Mm-hmm. But I think
you feel like you get it and then you relapse a little bit.
Exactly. So I think that's the biggest thing. It's just taking a moment to enjoy the journey and enjoy the process, but also slowing down and not going on autopilot. And not feeling like I have to do everything and be everything to everyone. And just doing too much.
Yeah, because at one point last year, I was going out 7 days a week, 7 days a week to different events, taking pictures or doing whatever. If it wasn't taking pictures, it was recording the show. Mm-hmm. You know, just doing whatever. And I just stopped enjoying the places I was going to because everything felt like work. Mm-hmm. I worked with a middle school, and you know, I worked from 8:30 in the morning, 6:30 at night. Then I would go out 8 o'clock to an event. When do I stop?
Exactly.
When do I shut down? Like, when do I have a moment of rest?
And as an introvert, that's constant human interaction.
Exactly.
Just nonstop. Exactly. Just being in people's faces and
right.
talking. And
I don't need
working.
it. I don't need it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
You have to stop. You have to enjoy your journey. You have to just, like you said, be present. Enjoy where you are in the moment. Mm-hmm. Because for you're at a booth, you know, selling things. Not every second you're not, you know, pushing your product down somebody's throat. It's like you're sitting there, and if you're at a show, you might, I like this artist, or what they're saying is really good. Let me listen to it. Mm-hmm. Like it's you have to have that balance.
Exactly.
So, with that, how do you get that time to yourself? How do you get that time for not only you, like as a woman, but then how do you get that time for you as a wife? How do you get that time for you as a mother?
I'm lucky to have a very good support system.
That's good.
Like, my daughter and my husband, they know when I need my time. Mm-hmm. It's been nice usually after events. Sometimes after events, I just need like a moment, maybe the next day, just like sleep in for a few more extra hours. Just quiet room, just quiet little box of not doing anything. She's 7.
Okay.
She's 7.
Okay.
So just having that space to just have silence after big events and things like that. Yeah. And also, like I said, having that support system. They know how I am. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, let's give mommy a little bit of space. Mm-hmm. Let's fall back. Mm-hmm. Let her do her thing. Mm-hmm. Just knowing when you need that time. Because sometimes I feel it coming. It's like, all right, let me just sit down and just chill for a little bit. Yeah, let me not do anything.
Some events is like, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, like sometimes it's cool, but sometimes it's like, all right, I talked to like a lot of people today. Let me just go in the corner and just go chill out, you know? So just, I think to answer your question, catch it before it gets to a point where you are like freaking out a little bit and you feel like it's too much. Just kind of knowing your limit and knowing when to be like, all right, I need to exit stage left.
So it's like how they say you can't take motion sickness or seasickness medicine after you're already throwing up.
You have to take it before because you know it's incoming. You know that it's about to come. Mm-hmm. So prepare yourself in advance. Exactly.
That's good. That takes a lot of knowledge of self because you can just go.
Exactly. And I feel like I get that the older I become. Yeah. The older I become, it's like, oh, okay, why didn't I know this in my 20s? Why did it wait for me to like hit my 30s to kind of have a grasp of it and have a foundation of doing that and kind of building upon it as I get older? But how come I didn't have all this information like 10 years ago? I could have like really helped myself. You know what I mean?
It
pisses me off.
Yeah. Do you think you'd be able to receive it?
Probably not. Probably not. Because I was more stubborn. Didn't listen as much.
You're trying to forge your own way in the world.
Exactly.
I don't want to listen.
Like, I'm going to do what I want to do regardless, you know? So, I mean, things happen the way that they're supposed to happen. Yeah. So, me having this self-awareness happened at the right time. So.
That's what I say that often, too, because I'm not in my 30s yet, but
how old are you?
I'm not. Are we doing that?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Well,
why not?
Okay. You never ask a gentleman his age, okay? All right, ladies.
Time to flip it.
Yeah, come on. No, I'm 28.
Okay.
Birthday's in June, so I'm really close to 30.
How do you feel about that? Really?
I can't wait.
Really? That's dope. That's dope.
I'm tired of saying I'm 20-something.
That's dope.
I want to get out of my 20s. Like, I want to be on the other side of 30 because I'm already an old nigga. So I just have to like chug along my way
you have
through
to get the number there. You have to catch up.
Because they don't respect my old gangster. Like, I am somebody's grandpa, two-stepping uncle. Like, I'm...
You're an old soul.
Like, you see this big-ass sound system?
I swear to God, my dad had that. Like, it looks like the exact same system.
93, 95, something like that.
The only difference is he had, like, the tower of, like, CDs on top of it.
Yep.
Like, he had that. That's crazy.
So, like, I was in here two-stepping to Atlantic Star earlier. Like,
That's crazy.
The only reason why I want a house is to...
Fam, I don't even know what Atlantic Star is. Like I'm older than you, and like you put me onto some old shit. I don't know what that is.
Y'all go Google Atlantic Star. Send for me. You know the Atlantic Star music.
I'm gonna have to send from you Atlantic Star.
Yeah. I'll write it down for you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because it's like I'm with the old school music. I just don't see myself. I haven't gone to a club in years. The most I go to are like poetry events. Like I go to a lounge every now and then, but I don't party.
I don't either. It's overrated.
Yeah, it's like
I feel like once you've done it, when you're young, right? It was a cool thing to do because you couldn't do it, so you didn't know what it was about.
And you don't.
And
have
then once
friends.
you do it, and once you do it, it's like, all right, I'm cool. Like I'm all set.
Once you realize it's like all I'm doing is just wasting money.
Exactly.
I need to do this. I'd rather DJ in here and play what I want to listen to.
Exactly.
As opposed to hearing maybe 2 or 3 songs that I like in a whole night.
And I also feel like social media has also kind of ruined that a little bit too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
People are too busy looking it up versus like dancing and enjoying the music and interacting with each other.
They want to dance for the camera.
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm trying to dirty wine on you. You know
exactly.
Like, why are we doing this? It's like it's nothing that I can. It's not, and then there's nothing that I can two-step to. I just want to two-step all night with a beautiful woman. Like, is that hard to ask for? Like,
you can't two-step to A Boogie
at all.
You can't two-step to that.
I'm good. I'm good. No, I cannot.
That's hella funny. That's hella funny.
I am very impressed with your name.
Thank you.
Because when I was a child, I would always say that I was an alien. And I'm black. Secret's out, guys. I'm black. If you guys didn't know it, if you're listening to the Best Man Pod, I'm black. So when I saw it, the black alien, I was like, okay, I completely identify. That moniker. Explain the moniker.
Basically what you said. I mean, I have always been the oddball out no matter where I go. Amongst my group of friends, in my family, at school, everything. Like, I've just always felt like I don't belong anywhere. Like, I don't really have my real tribe, like a place that I really feel like at home and feel like myself, like at my rawest, you know what I mean? And as a child, and even in my early to mid 20s, I always shame myself for that a little bit. Like, what is wrong with me? Why am I like this? How come I'm not normal? Why did I get bullied back in school? You know, why do I not have as many friends as I want to be? Why am I not popular? So as I became older and like we were talking about self-awareness, just kind of had the aha moment. Like, these are the things that make me an individual.
Right.
Why do I not take that negative energy and turn it into a positive and put that positive energy back into the universe so other people can identify with that? And I think it's also easier now. I mean, I obsess over Pharrell. Like, I love Pharrell because I feel like he's one of the first people who kind of promoted that
the black weirdness.
Exactly. And made it be cool and made it be okay. So I feel like now in this generation it's easy to kind of identify as a weirdo. But in our generation it was not the case.
If you're a weirdo, you're Steve Urkel.
Exactly. Like, you were whack. It's like nobody wanted to deal with that. Yeah. Everybody wanted to be cool.
You had to be cool.
Yeah. So,
but being weird is cool as fuck.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's how it came about. Okay. It's just me kind of having that self-awareness and knowing that these are the things that make me an individual. These are the things that make me dope. So why not put that back out there? Yeah. Because other people identify with that. People like you. Yeah. I mean, there's so many of us that are in the exact same kind of mindset.
And for you, it's like there's little black girls who think that they have to be one way.
Exactly.
And they see you and it's like, oh, I can draw too. I can paint. I can be weird and it's okay.
Exactly.
Because what's weird to you just means I'm different from you.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not weird, it's not bad to be weird. I stand apart from everything that y'all are doing. I've always been the one that say, oh, y'all are all walking that way. I'm just going to walk this way. Just because. And then somebody's going to be like, hey, where you going? And then come with me.
Exactly.
Like, I forge my own trail. I don't want to just walk with the group. Y'all might go this way. I might just keep straight. We'll end up at the same place, but I'm going to go this way.
Exactly. We have to march to the beat of our own drum.
Definitely.
We have to.
It's very important. It's definitely very important. Like I said, I work with the middle school, and so much knowledge. I'm not a teacher, so I'm just the teacher's assistant, and I do an after school program. So I'm with them on a personal level. It's not, hey, yes, do your work, but even when they're not doing their work, I tell them, I'm like, okay, you're not doing your work, so you're going to have to listen to me talk. Like, we're in chemistry class, or not in chemistry class, we're in science class, and I told one of the boys, said, why do I have to learn this science shit? I'm never going to use it. I'm going to be an actor. I'm not a scientist. I was like, do you realize that acting is science? He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, do you know what alchemy is? I said, yeah. He's like, no. So I bet him. I was like, look it up. He was like, what am I? I'm like, you don't want to do this work, right? So, you're already on your phone doing nothing, on Instagram doing nothing. Google the word alchemy. So he did it. I told him to read the definition. He read it, and then once I started talking to him about it, I was like, so what did you learn? He was like, and then he started to reread it. I said, so did you read it, or did you just dismiss it? He said, dismiss it. I'm like, okay, well, read it again. I was like, you know what? You don't have to read it again. So I grabbed his phone. I read it to him. Alchemy is ancient chemistry. Things like that. It means, what does it say? Taking one thing and transforming it into another thing for the better. So I'm saying, as an actor, you're taking these words, you're taking this scene, and you're transforming yourself into a completely different person to give the audience another reaction, give an audience a reaction, or to teach an audience member something. You're taking this script and making the world a better place by you acting it out. So yeah, you can't tell me that actors aren't chemists or aren't scientists, because they're alchemists. Alchemy is chemistry. And he was like, what? I was like, you're never gonna forget that I said that.
I was just about to say that. When he gets to the point where he's doing his own thing, he's gonna remember that. And it's gonna click. Definitely. It's gonna click.
And he doesn't have to know what I'm talking about right now. He's in 8th grade. He's fine. But he was like, I just forgot half of the stuff you said. I was like, I know, because I'm very long-winded. But you'll never forget that acting is in science is. Acting is a science. You're never going to forget that point. You're never going to forget that point. So for me, it's giving these kids, giving the kids that I'm around an opportunity to say the hood and where I come from doesn't have to be who I am. It's like, yeah, you can be from the hood all day long, but you're going to always have hood in you because that's how you was raised. You can try to shy away from it, but that's still a part of your upbringing.
Exactly. But you don't have to allow that to define you. We're so much more than the environment that we grew up in.
Exactly.
And that's a beautiful thing because a lot of children, they need that. They need you dropping little gems like that along the way. Because just build upon it, and then it starts to click with them over time.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff I say is just, I'm saying this not for right now. Like, I'm planting seeds. Like you said, when he becomes into his own, he's going to think back on his middle school days and what he was taught and who, yelled at him and who was there for him. And he's going to remember the things that I told him. Even last year to this year, he's grown so much because last year he's a big, 6'2", 6'3" guy. He's like really, overweight or whatever like that. And he's not even overweight. He's just a big dude. His dad is like 6'5", 6'6", like huge guy. And at 13, 14, you're subconscious about yourself. You're subconscious about your weight. You're subconscious about your body. He doesn't have the best hygiene, so he gets made fun of and things like that. And from 7th grade to 8th grade, I saw his confidence just shoot up. A lot of the 8th grade boys he was sad because he would get made fun of. But now he's in 8th grade. He's dressing differently. He walks a little bit differently. He got his sunglasses. Yeah, and I see it, and it's beautiful. And just me being there for him and telling him, like, you're going to be good. That's the most important part for me. That's why I couldn't do a job, like you're saying, just that soul-sucking job. Yeah. Like, I need to be able to do that. I need to be able to give to somebody.
Because you know that you're making a difference.
Exactly.
You know that you are.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what your art does. Just the fact that you are even doing it, that gives kids inspiration and hope. So I'm glad that you were here.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you were here. We need more people to do that. I'm gonna show you this piece right here. This is one of her prints.
That's beautiful.
Sierra Salome. Salome means peace.
That is beautiful.
I have her actual pieces in the back, and she just started doing prints. And she started to put it in frames and things like that. And her pieces speak to me because just the colors that she uses and what they're all black people. And with afros, she has one with, I'll show you in a minute, but she has some with like the little puffs and like the baby hair coming down, like things like that, just showing beautiful blackness. And she says I did an episode with her, and she says that she's been through things that are ugly, but every time she starts to paint, all she can paint is beautiful.
It's beauty.
And
oh, I like that.
Yeah, and she was like, I even tried my hardest. Like I've tried. She's gonna be so juiced when she watches this one, when she listens to this, and she's like, "Oh, you talking about me?" Because she like makes notes as she listens to it, and she shows me her notes and stuff like that. So it's like, she's amazing.
Shout out to her. She's very talented. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. How do you find, or how do you transmute your pain when doing your art?
I feel like my art and painting is literally a form of therapy. I feel like it has saved my life. Like literally, it saved my life. I'm able to sit down, have a blank canvas, blank screen, whatever have you, and I just get into the zone.
Right.
I don't think about work, my 9 to 5. I don't think about all the shit I have to do around the house.
Right.
I'm not thinking about any of that. Like I just kind of go into like a different realm.
Right.
And I just get into the zone and I just do it. And that's addicting when you can escape from your realities and do something positive, do something that you love. you get addicted to it. So you just do it over and over and over and over and over. And that's really what helps me.
That's dope.
That's how I turn it. That's how I flip it.
It's what would be the word? You're detaching from the pain and putting it into the art.
And putting it into the art. Mm-hmm.
So what do you, if you had to, how would you characterize or categorize the type of art or what, your pieces? I don't know really what question I'm asking you, but...
That makes sense. It makes sense. So I do mostly portrait paintings, and it's always centered around us, around Black people, around Black weirdness, around Black individuality, Black women specifically. The people that I draw are like the people that I look up to in a sense. Or I see that and it's like, that's beauty. I want to capture that.
Yeah.
I want to recreate that. That's Black excellence. I want to transform that into my style and put that out there.
Okay. The shirt that I got, I believe is the We Out piece.
We Out Here.
Yeah. It's a person on the moon.
Yes.
I either got that one or no. That's the one I want. I got the rose.
Oh, you got the moon rose.
I got the moon rose.
I don't remember which one you got.
I got the moon rose because I know I want the We Out Here.
You want the We Out Here one?
Yeah,
that's literally my bestseller.
Yeah,
people fuck with that one so hard
because it's dope. They're all dope, but yeah, that was the.
But like when you think about that though, like it's such an existential thing for me because it's like we're literally out here. We don't know what we're doing. We're trying to figure it out. We don't know why we're here. We don't know when our time is up.
Right.
We're just kind of figuring it out as we go along. We out here. We out here.
We are.
And people fuck with that so heavy, and I'm so happy that I was able to get that message across.
Yeah.
Because that's just something that, like that feeling, it bothers me. But we are all literally in the same boat. There's not one person that is not in the same boat and feels the exact same way at some point in their lives.
Yeah.
So
we definitely.
I love that people love that shirt.
When I got really into reading, when I figured out what I liked to read, a lot of it was like existential conflicts. Not necessarily a good versus the evil type of situation. That's why I love a book like Siddhartha. I love a book like The Alchemist, The Stranger. Like, these are like the top 3 of books that I always go back to. The Metamorphosis, Kafka. These are books that I go back to often because it doesn't tell a story about a good guy and a bad guy. It tells a story about one person trying to, win themselves. Like they're trying to gain the treasure, especially for the alchemists. They're gaining the treasure of themselves, and not an outside treasure. It's who they actually are and their purpose and who they're meant to be. So yeah, definitely existentialism is definitely important to me because that's what it is. That's really all it is. Like in one episode, I said the only thing that is assured to you is that you're not going to be here anymore.
Yep. And having to sit with that.
You have to because it's going to happen.
It's going to happen whether you like it or not.
Definitely. Tell me about how you make your shirts because it's a different material. Tell me about like what are you using for your shirts and what you're using for your clothing.
So
I think that was very important when I read the tag.
I use a manufacturer that's like a direct to garment place. It's not screen printing, so they have a t-shirt printer. Okay. And they put my digital file onto the printer and like literally like print the shirt out. Cool. So that's why it has kind of that smooth surface to it and not kind of texture the way that screen printing is. So yeah, it's pretty much.
But the shirts are like different too though. Like
really?
I read the tag and it said like washing it or something like that, or like the dyes in it or something like that. I can't remember, but when I read, you've never seen your shirt?
I have, but I don't recall anything like that saying it. I I don't know what you're talking about.
She's never seen her clothing.
I think he's getting me mixed up.
No, I'm not. No. It was yours.
You may be... So on my website, I have that as ring spun cotton, which they pre-treat the cotton.
Okay.
They wash it and they weave it in such a way that gives it its softness.
Okay.
So the more you wash it, the softer it becomes.
Is that what it is?
Versus getting stiff.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Maybe that's what it is.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so get it dirty, wash it.
Wash it as many times as you want.
It's going to become a hug. Her shirt is going to become a hug.
A hug. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
No. I gotta. My friend says, stop being an ass. No, that's all I know.
That's all you know.
Yeah, that's all I know. So before we get out of here, I like to give my listeners something to think about until they listen to my voice again. Mm-hmm. So this segment is called The Diagnosis. Fucking love that. I'm too childish. I love that shit. Oh, you going with me? The Diagnosis. Come on. It just makes you, it's cathartic. It makes you happy. Like,
I like it.
Yeah, so you're going to go home like.
I'm going to do that like after a long day. Because I like that. That helps. I feel more calm.
Yes.
Yeah. I like it.
So, number 1. Accept positive reinforcement. I ask my students a lot, like when they're doing the wrong things, like, why do you guys crave negative reinforcements? Like, why can't I just ask you to correct yourself without having to do extra? Mm-hmm. Why can't I just say, hey, what you're doing is wrong, can you change it? And then you change it rather than you don't, and now I have to be like, hey, guys, stop it. Like, allow for someone to tell you that you're great. I have that problem. I'm sure you have that problem.
As do I. Yes.
Like, you make amazing art, and you're like, I'm all right. Like, you're all right.
For improvement.
Yeah, you're all right to you. You're right to your standards, but as a person who enjoys art, you make amazing art.
Thank you.
You make important art.
Thank you.
And yeah, you're phenomenal.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm
accepting it.
Look at how it works.
Progress, just like that.
Number 2, enjoy your journey. Mm-hmm. You might not ever reach the finish line. You might not ever reach enough money, a big old house, and all the stuff. But what did you do on your journey to make it worthwhile? What did you do on your journey to assure yourself that, I might not be the top ever, but where I am is okay. Mm-hmm. And that's not settling, but that's just being good enough to be who you want to be. And if you're doing what you want to do, you're halfway there already. Mm. It goes to Sister Act 2. She said, if you wake up and all you want to do is sing, you're a singer, girl. You don't have to. I'm not a wannabe singer. I'm not an aspiring singer. I'm a singer.
That's what
I sing. Yes, I sing. Like I say, I'm not a photographer. I just take dope photos. Because I don't hold. That's not my occupation. Mm-hmm. That's what I do.
That's what you do. Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm not a. I'm not a podcaster. I just make a podcast. Like I don't allow like what I do to become who I am. And sometimes who you are is what you do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a mixed bag.
I like that.
You just understand which one works for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the last one. Listen to Atlantic Star. Send for me. Okay?
I'm going to check it. I feel like, what's going to happen? I feel like I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to immediately know what it is.
Send for me. That shit is hard.
Maybe I don't.
That shit is hard. Oh my God. I'm going to play it on these before you go.
I'm going to send you my old head playlist because I have an old head playlist.
Please, because we're going to battle. We're going to old head battle.
Yeah, we need to.
We're going to old head battle for sure. So, do you have anything?
I don't.
Okay.
I really don't.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I was so fucking nervous. Like, you do not understand.
Everybody is.
I'm going to tell you guys, I was so nervous. I'm such an introvert.
Yeah.
I'm so reserved. So me being on this platform, I feel like it's such a huge thing. What you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
Giving a platform for Black creatives to come and speak their piece and kind of help each other and drop gems. Like, I think that's amazing. So
yes,
thank you.
I'm always for that. Anytime I can help, anytime I can show, you know, put pieces together, because I build bridges. So, I gave you, one information. I gave you, I'm gonna give you some more information in the future. Like, I just want y'all to win. I just want people who I think is dope to win. That's all that matters to me. Which is a beautiful thing. Yeah. We're helping each other out. I'm not a hater. Have to. So where can my millions of listeners find you? Your millions of listeners can find me on all social media platforms at The Black Alien. Black is spelled BLK. And my website, www.theblakalien.com. Get some merch. Come say hello. Buy some art. Merch, I also have a new t-shirt collection coming in a few weeks as well. My spring collection. Check it out. Where can I find you as far as vending? So I am going to be at the Black Joy Parade on Black Sunday. Joy? Yes, so come say hi. Come say what's up. Oh, that's this Sunday, huh? Mm-hmm. This Sunday. Okay. I was like, follow me. Follow me on Instagram. I'm everywhere. So just follow me. But you probably saw her at the Black Joy Parade. Yes. So you will see me at the Black Joy Parade. Hi. Huge alien banner. Yeah, hey. Can't miss it. That's Come dope. Say hello. That's dope. The Black Alien. We are all Black aliens. We are. We some of us. Some of us. We can't all be Black aliens. A lot of us are. Some of them. Some of y'all are just Black humans. Like some of y'all just Black. I'm gonna call this. The people who are watching this are most likely they're all Black aliens. So. I'm calling this episode The Black Human. The Black Human. With the Black Alien. Hi, I love it. I love it when I get my episode title. I love it. Shout out to the Defy Life Podcast Network for always looking out and keeping me in the ears of you. So, appreciate you. Go Defy Life at Go Defy Life on Instagram. Shout out to Tree Spicer. Hey. Best Man Pod. It's your man Simba Roar back in this thing one more time, bro. Here we out. Peace. Peace.